This educational video will teach you the differences in a vegan diet and omnivore diet, how a person can develop deficiency in a vegan diet, and also how a vegan diet can be managed for powerlifting. Our question that will be answered through this video is, can a powerlifter manage a vegan diet while also maintaining performance? First of all, how is the vegan diet different than the omnivore diet? An omnivore diet includes every kind of food like meat, poultry, seafood, dairy, nuts, fruits, and vegetables. Whereas a vegan diet excludes any animal products or meat. It will consist of plant-based foods, nuts, seeds, fruits, and vegetables. It is important to note that everyone has their own variation of food choices for each diet. In order to be healthy and maintain performance in any activity, one must have a well-balanced diet of macronutrients, vitamins, and minerals. But how much of each should we have? We must consume adequate amounts of carbs to replenish our glycogen stores based off our intensity of workout. We also must consume the right amount and type of fats for hormone production. According to our sports nutrition book, the recommended protein intake for strength athletes is 1.6 to 1.7 grams per kilo body weight per day. On average, most people get their needed amount of vitamins and minerals through their diet. However, a vegan diet can lead to deficiency in these fuel sources. So what is the vegan diet lacking for proper nutrition?
A vegan diet can predispose an individual to certain deficiencies if they do not consume the proper amount of macronutrients, vitamins, and minerals. More specifically, a vegan diet can lead to a protein deficiency. Protein is essential for structures of cells, muscle building, and cell repair. Protein quality is determined by digestibility and amino acid content. In a plant-based diet, one can obtain protein from vegetables that contain soy protein and gluten. Soy protein and gluten have a high digestibility, but most of the other vegetable proteins have a lower digestibility factor because of the plant cell walls. Obtaining protein and digesting it from plant products can also be affected by food processing and heat from cooking. Some vegetables contain naturally occurring anti-nutritional factors such as digestive enzyme inhibitors, tannins, and glucosinolates. Tomatoes and potatoes contain inhibitors of digestive proteolytic enzymes or proteases. In terms of amino acid content, the protein found in broccoli contains less leucine than protein found in beef. This concludes that broccoli has a lower quality of protein compared to beef. This can help determine if beef or broccoli can benefit from muscle growth. In a vegan diet, in order to get the same effect of high-quality proteins, one must eat a larger quantity of lower-quality proteins. In addition, ingesting whey protein for exercise has proved to be more beneficial for protein synthesis after exercising compared to soy and casein. Whey protein has a higher digestibility, which aids in its benefit for better protein synthesis, whereas non-processed soybeans are highly concentrated in trypsin inhibitors. Trypsin, a protease, helps with protein absorption. Therefore, soy is not as easily digestible. A study by Tang shows that in this graph, whey protein creates a larger transient rise in leucine oxidation more so than soy protein. Leucine is important in activating the mTOR response. The mTOR response will increase the capacity of protein synthesis and will help for muscle strength. A vegan diet can lead to an iron deficiency. How does this happen? Iron is found in both plant and animal products. It is found in foods like meat, fish, cereal, tofu, broccoli, and apricots. However, in a vegan diet, the iron bioavailability is lower than an omnivore's diet. Only 5 to 12% of iron is absorbed compared to 14 to 18% in an omnivore diet. This is due to the differences in the type of iron being absorbed. Non-heme iron is typically found in cereal that will be less absorbed than heme iron, which is found in animal meat. An iron deficiency can develop in a vegan diet if there is inadequate protein intake. An iron deficiency can also lead to lethargy, shortness of breath, and can work opposite of improving performance.
What is powerlifting? According to the International Powerlifting Association website, the sport is, quote, the ultimate strength competition. The disciplines used within the sport are the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. In other words, this sport is a form of heavy resistance training. Very heavy resistance training depending on an athlete's skill set. Understandably so, the ability to both build and maintain muscles are extremely crucial for a lifter. The stress caused by this type of workout requires an intake of proteins to offset the loss of muscle protein via exercise. The problem that a vegan powerlifter faces is the discrepancies of both quality and quantity of viable protein sources. Plant-based proteins are incomplete, which means that they do not contain all of the essential amino acids required by the body. For example, 1 ounce of meat is equivalent to 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, 1/4 cup of cooked beans, and 1/2 ounce of nuts and seeds. They would also add other sources like lentils, which have 18 grams per cup, soy, which have 10 grams per half cup, quinoa, which has 8 grams per cup, and buckwheat, which has 6 grams per cup, to fulfill their protein needs. One amino acid that vegans must be sure to consume is leucine. According to lecture number 7 in this class, leucine is critical in the activation of mTOR, which in turn is critical for protein synthesis. However, vegan protein sources have smaller amounts of leucine compared to animal proteins. A study conducted by Marcus Moberg and Company was conducted to analyze the effect of leucine on muscle growth. His colleagues found that, quote, inclusion of leucine in the essential amino acid supplement enhanced stimulation of mTORC1 signaling, with the concentration of leucine increasing throughout each stage of the resistance training program conducted in the study. Therefore, it is wise for a vegan to include a branched-chain amino acid supplement in their diet to regulate the amounts of leucine within their body. It is also recommended for vegans to intake foods that are supplemented with calcium and potassium in order to maintain their muscle signaling. A powerlifting routine is fairly difficult for a vegan lifter, but that being said, it's not impossible. They just have to make sure they intake all the proper nutrients they need in order to maintain their strength.